Rich Dad Poor Dad is one of the best personal finance books of all time. The book is a true story of Robert Kiyosaki, where he learns lessons from his two dads. His poor dad being his real dad, who was a highly educated man, went to school, got a good job, where his rich dad was actually his best friend's dad, who was an entrepreneur, businessman, and investor. And in the book, he compares the life lessons he learned from both of these men growing up and the different type of advice they got and the different type of lives they lead after their own advice. I think everybody should read his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, at least once. And the reason why is I don't really see it as a finance book. I see it as a book about entrepreneurship. So, without further ado, there are some of the biggest lessons that are found in this revelatory book that you can apply to your own life to increase your wealth. Lesson number 1. The rich don't work for money. Straight out of the gate, Kiyosaki comes with this overarching principle for the entire book. The poor and middle class work for money, the rich have money work for them. So the typical paradigm for the middle class is to study hard, get a good grades, get a safe job with excellent benefits. So this creates an endless cycle of fear and greed. What the author means by that is that the most people want to feel secure with their money, so their passion doesn't direct them, and their everyday lives, it's their fear of needing money to continue to be able to live. However, the rich, in his opinion, do something totally different. They don't think about working for money as much as they think about looking for ways to almost invent out of thin air and chasing after work that they love, pivoting into a new career or starting a business. Things that will set them up to be financially free and to be free with their time, which is just as valuable as money. As the rich dad tells young Mike and young Robert, keep working boys, but the sooner you forget about needing a paycheck, the easier your life will be. Keep using your brain, work for free, and soon your mind will show you ways of making money for beyond what you could ever be paid. You will see things that other people never see. So rather than working for a paycheck, what Kiyosaki wants you to do is to find ways to serve people, find ways to help people achieve something, help people get a desired result, to help meet a need. So keep your eyes open for what the pinpoint the problems are, what the solutions need to help people in their lives. Lesson number 2 from Rich Dad Poor Dad: the rich buy assets and the poor and middle class buy liabilities. So what's the difference between the two? According to Kiyosaki, the assets is anything that puts money into your pocket, and the liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. So assets puts money into your pocket, the liability is take money out of your pocket. Even more poignant is how Kiyosaki puts it in his book. Rich people acquire assets, the poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. The average person went to school to get that job, so the biggest problems they have is student loans. They can't they start driving a nice car, buying a nice home, and then try to get married. So they have to borrow money because they can't actually afford all those things. And all that does is add massive monthly payment. Instead, if you want to focus on acquiring income-producing assets, things that actually get money to flow to you each month. Good example for an asset will be income-producing rental real estate, stock dividends, commodities, or passive income online style business. Lesson number 3. Wealth equals how long you can survive without working. Is in the book, Robert Kiyosaki drops massive truth bomb that having a big income or even a big net worth doesn't necessarily mean that you are wealthy. In his own words, wealth is a person's ability to survive so many number of days forward. Or if I stopped working today, how long could I survive? So if you stopped going to the job, how long could you survive for? And that if you want financial freedom, you need to have assets that either pay you an interest, pay you an dividends, accumulate that you could sell, that would basically say you don't have to work the rest of your life if you stop today. And finally, these are the action steps to start today from the book. The first one is do not buy investment before you invest about learning about investing. We can't do anything until we start to raise it and educate ourselves about what's a good financial decision. Step number 2, +1 or -1. Every day is a choice. Are you going to be poor or broke? Every dollar is +1 or -1. Are you moving towards financial freedom or away from financial freedom? Every choice we make, every dollar we spend, that's a choice. The third one is pay yourself first. Each month when you get your paycheck, before you do anything, before you pay bills, before you buy groceries, before you pay your taxes, pay yourself. The fourth one is learn to live on 75% of your paycheck. Step number 5, choose your friend carefully. Step number 6, if you do invest, be an Indian giver. That's what he says in the book. If you want to be a sophisticated investor, always ask, how quick do I get that back? Seventh step is start small. And finally, teach it. That is the best way to learn something, is to teach it. That's it. Thank you so much for watching.